Now then, we finally reached chapter number 20 of the Blue Box manga series. And what a brilliant chapter this was. So, hello everyone and welcome to the Animezilia, and today, like I said, let's talk about chapter 20 of the Blue Box manga series. A great chapter that focuses on Chainatsu's character while also developing Taiki in a significant way. So then, where better to start this review than talking about our main protagonist in Taiki and the development that he has started to undergo. Winning his first set ever against Haru may not have seemed like an important factor at first, but when looking at the bigger picture and the placement of this achievement, the achievement itself becomes massive. This win comes just after Taiki's conversation with Chainatsu, in where he's amazed at the fact that Hina and Chainatsu have found this obsession when it comes to winning. This means that during the set that Taiki won, he found something that drives him to dig deeper and get that win. He found his obsession. Just like Chainatsu and Hina have beforehand. However, as great as this might be, it only matters in the long term if Taiki can win again against Haru, proving that this particular win within this chapter was not a fluke. Personally, I feel like Taiki won't be able to win against Haru again until maybe the tournament or a few chapters down the line. This is so that Taiki can discover that reason which makes him so obsessed with victory. Ultimately, that reason could be related to Chainatsu again. And, we know already how they have that dream or wish of going to nationals together. So it could be linked to that. However, I do personally want and feel like Taiki needs a reason that is more personal to himself, that relates to his game/personal dreams, away from any of the characters that we know within the series so far. As this would allow Taiki to develop in a way that gives him more depth to his character and more interest and intrigue. But with all that being said, even if Taiki knows what this new motivation for winning is, it's still not perfect. As yes, he may have won this time, but looking at the score itself, it was super close. So I believe that we'll be able to gauge Taiki's progress in him finding that obsession and discovering what that really is by the difference in score when he faces different characters. As ultimately we've seen in the early stages of this chapter that Taiki was very outskilled and outmatched when facing against Haru. The point difference was staggering. So we can kind of gauge how well Taiki's developing in his game by how close the score is. So for example, if Taiki wins a match with 21 points and Haru's at 13 points, so it's the script's been flipped, then that means Taiki has really found that desire, that drive, that obsession. But obviously, if he still loses, he still needs to discover it. Now, moving away from the game side of thing with Taiki, I really did like his character in the observation department, seeing how kind of frustrated or upset Chainatsu was, and then that conversation that they had together. It's obvious that after that conversation, he was inspired to better himself when on the court, so that could ultimately contribute to his win against Haru. But at the same time, I just found the whole conversation between himself and Chainatsu to be quite sweet, a little bit comedic, but at the same time, I just like the fact that Taiki managed to listen and understand, and he did well there. Okay, so let's move along and talk about Chainatsu's character, as I just keep finding reasons to love this character more and more as the series progresses. Seeing how she's planning to silence the players who doubt her abilities with her actions, rather than a war of words, I think is just fantastic. Turning those harmful words into her motivation in order to prove why herself and her team belong on a national court. Yes, she's allowing herself to take in those harsh comments, but that is by her own choice. this choice that she's making is all in order to gain that drive to prove everybody wrong and stun the haters into silence. Doing all of this just shows how mentally strong she is as a character, as well as how determined she is towards her goal of going to nationals. All of this just makes me love the character even more, and trust me, I didn't think that was possible. But honestly, after this chapter, Chinstu is up there in some of my favourite female characters of all time manga. And you know what? I'm excited to see how much more she improves as we move forward with this series. Because again, we're only 20 chapters in, and already I just find that she's amazing. With all that being said though, I do have a slight concern. This panel right here is what makes me slightly concerned. Because when it comes to basketball, we know how passionate she is. We know how much this means to her. But have those scars from her last defeat fully healed? Just looking at her body language and her expressions in this particular panel leads me to believe that maybe not. Maybe she's still harboring that sting of defeat from last time, and it still pains her and worries her in the back of her mind. Maybe there's a small bit of self-doubt in there. If that is the case though, I am so thankful to announce that she has a fantastic set of teammates on her side. Just looking at what the teammates went through in this chapter and how I think Nagisa, I think that was the character that Chinstu went around with, and how she was so protective of Chinstu and how passionately she was at standing up for her friend. This makes me feel like even if Chinstu does have a bit of self-doubt about her own abilities, and it shows in a match, her teammates are going to be the light that helps her pull through. And, well, Taiki, of course, as well. Again, just to put myself on repeat, Chinstu is amazing, and slowly but surely, her development is turning her into a brilliant character. Plus, I do also hope that her teammates all get a time to shine. Yeah, that'd be cool. And finally, the last character I want to talk about in this video is Haru. With him now losing, and with the information that we learned in chapter 19 about a player that Haru cannot beat, could we see a more aggressive or panic side to Haru's character? Because now so close to nationals or the tournament, he's starting to lose even against Taiki. So this loss could mentally affect him, and we could see a difference in personality to Haru's character in where he's a bit more aggressive, a bit more frenetic, a bit more crazy in the way that he does things, because he's starting to panic. He's starting to worry about his chances moving forward. Obviously, Haru has been shown to be a very overconfident and arrogant character within the series so far, but he's never lost to Taiki before. Someone he saw beneath him. And now suddenly, the student is becoming the master. Well, at least with one win, that is. But again, the timing is so coincidental that we could see a different side to Haru's character, and we need to have more focus on him soon, I believe, within the coming chapters. So I think that'll be pretty interesting and a fun dynamic to follow. Now overall, I absolutely loved this chapter from start to finish. And hopefully this is a good setup that will pay off immensely in the future. But with that, only time will tell. And I have complete faith within the Blue Box manga series to deliver spectacularly. The art style was fantastic, a lot of cute panels and amazing expressions being shown. And you know what, I always praise the art style, but it's nice to see some basketball. Hopefully we get to see more basketball in like maybe a full match. But the fast moving pace and art style that we got to saw, I thought complemented the sport wonderfully. So that's enjoyable as well. Now let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below about this particular chapter. I'd love to hear all of your thoughts and opinions. Hopefully you've enjoyed this review. If you have, comment, like, subscribe, all of that good stuff for more content from myself in the future. Apart from that though, just have a great day and I'll see you soon. Alligator, matane, goodbye.